Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Tailgate Talk. It is week 10. We are on to semifinals week, regional semifinals week. We're here to talk about the Eastern Maine Class B playoffs, and yeah, who would have figured that Turner Center and Farmington Falls are Eastern Maine. With Randy Whitehouse, I'm Callie Oaks, and a lot of people probably looking forward to, I guess we'd call it the Foregone Conclusion Bowl next week, which would be Levitt and Mount Blue. But we got some business to take care of first. Semifinal games. Hamden at Levitt and Gardner at Mount Blue. Let's talk about the Gardner-Mount Blue game because that has a little different dynamic to it. They met in week 4 of the regular season. It was kind of the yeah-but game because Mount Blue won easily. Yeah, but Alonzo Connor only played a quarter and maybe a drive of the second quarter.
Yeah, he's back. He's been back, for 3-4 weeks now and fully healthy last week. Well over 200 yards rushing and 5 touchdowns. Gardner has also added a kind of a different element to their game with quarterback Dennis Meehan becoming more of a factor in the running game. So that's something for Mount Blue to look out for. It'll be interesting to see this week if they handle it like they handled last week against NDI's straight T running game. They played 8 men in the box, brought one of their safeties up as an extra linebacker or fourth linebacker. Was fairly effective against MDI. Didn't completely stop them, but stopped them when they had to on 3rd and 4th downs, put them in 3rd and long situations. And of course, MDI just couldn't throw the ball, whereas Gardner can bring that dimension to their offense. On the other side, Mount Blue showed off some of their other weapons last week, so to speak. Chris Malone had a big game for them, couple touchdown catches off shovel passes. And one of the concerns, I think, going in for the Cougars has been turnovers. They had 3 fumbles last week. It was a bugaboo in the Levitt game. It's been a bugaboo that's kind of sprung up on occasion during the season. And that's something, if you do that against a team like Gardner, it's going to make it for a much more competitive game down the stretch.
Yeah, I think Gardner, I think a lot of people probably feel like we sell Gardner short over in Gardner because of this Levitt, Mount Blue, and Mount Blue Levitt thing that's been going on all year, but Gardner in any other season would be a Class B contender. They not only have Connor, but they have Dennis Meehan at quarterback. They have Justin Lovely as receiver. They have Eddie Donnell, who has come back from some horrific injuries to be a contributor as a lineman on both sides. So Gardner's got some talent, and could be a dangerous game for the Cougars if you say they don't take care of the football. On the other side of the coin, Hamden at Levitt, and this is one of those rivalries that hasn't really been a rivalry. They had a close game a couple of years ago during the regular season, but I think the perception of this being a hard-nosed, chippy football game has been kind of one-sided because Levitt's dominated the series.
Yeah, Levitt has absolutely dominated. The offensive and defensive lines have always had the last laugh. The Broncos like to consider themselves a smash mouth football team, and they are. I mean, they average about 360 yards a game rushing behind Nick Stevens and Logan Stewart. They can run on most teams. They haven't had so much success against Levitt. Levitt has dominated the line of scrimmage. There's not a lot of love lost between those two teams. I think the Levitt coaching staff regards the Broncos like the Denver Broncos of the 90s in regards to their blocking technique. It's an interesting time on the sideline listening to the Levitt coaches talk about that. And I'm sure it's the other way around. Hamden doesn't particularly care for Levitt. But, the Hornets last week proved that they're certainly on a mission this year, as if they haven't proven it over the course of the entire season. Just so many weapons and pick your poison against them. Hamden just doesn't have the ability to stop every one of them. And there's so much talent there that even if it's just a couple of things that are working for the Hornets, they can score 40, 50 points off of those two players.
Yeah, it seems like the regular season, the way the schedule falls, is Hamden draws Levitt in week 1. And if you're ever going to get Levitt, week 1's the time to get him. And this was a 14-7 game for most of the first half, the first time around this year. But it just seems like Levitt is the team that evolves so much from point A to point B during the season. So that should make it tough for Hamden. We'll be back next week to talk about the 2 survivors and the regional championship game in Eastern B, the Pine Tree Conference. Until then, for Randy Whitehouse, I'm Callie Oaks. See you on the sideline.